There is lots of time to practice these concepts, the low twos, the dynamics, all the different bowings that they ask you to do. But at this point, I'm going to start skipping around the book a little bit, really to focus on our concert music, just to make sure that that's prepared. That doesn't mean that you only have to play our concert music. You can practice everything and anything in between in the book. Every one of these exercises is valuable. But for the sake of your time in making these videos, I'm going to start focusing on the concert music from here on out. So now we're going to look at exercise number 135, minuets. Minuet was written by a composer named Bach. And if you guys remember our old classroom, we have a music history wall, and Bach was one of our composers on the music history wall. He's really credited with making music sound the way that it does today, and really deciding on how music should be organized, what notes sound good together, what doesn't sound good together. So if you have a good idea of what you think sounds good in music, you should thank him, because he's the one that really organized it and started bringing it all together. He lived around the 1600s when music was first starting to be written down in the Western world. He lived in Europe as well. And this piece is one of the pieces that was written by him. This is called Minuet. Just looking over it, just a few roadmap things. Minuet, moderato, medium fast tempo. It starts mezzo forte, and there's no dynamic changes, so we'll just keep our bow in that center lane the entire time. We are in D major because we see two sharps, and we also realize we end on D, so both of those things tell us we're in D major. So no low twos needed in this exercise. We're in 3/4 times, so there's only going to be 3 beats per measure. In the first measure, we've got eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Ooh, and those move around a lot, so that might take some practice. You might want to practice that pizzicato a few times before you try it with the bow, because that can get really tricky when you're switching fingerings that quickly. In the second measure, we've got a hooked bowing. We've talked about that before. We have 2 up bows in a row. They're also marked staccato, so that means it's not going to be a slur where we keep the arm moving the whole time. We'll stop the bow in between those 2 notes. We've also got a repeat sign here. So that means we're going to go back to the beginning and repeat those 2 measures. So we'll play 1, 2, 1, 2, and then we'll keep going. We've got in this measure a slur, so we just have to make sure that we're practicing that bowing with the slur. We've got the same idea in this right here. Compare these 2 measures and decide, are they the same measure, or are they the same thing, or are they a little bit different? They are a little bit different. Some of the fingerings are different, even though the bowing and the rhythm is the same. In this measure, we have 2 notes marked staccato. This note and this note are both staccato, so we'll use short bows for that. And then our last note is a high D, and it's going to be 3 beats long. This is going to take some practice. Be patient with yourself. Take some time to really learn it pizzicato. And in fact, I'm even going to play it with you pizzicato first, because until we feel comfortable with those fingerings, we're never going to get those bowings down. Okay. Pause the video as much as you need to practice this pizzicato, and only play with me when you feel like you're ready to play the whole thing pizzicato from the beginning. 1, ready, go. Gosh, I have a lot of fun with that first measure. I really enjoy playing it. It's always a challenge to play it first, but once you get it, I just have so much fun with it. All right. Now, go back and practice those measures again that have the slurs, that have those odd bowings. And I also recommend practicing the first measure again, because you've got a little bit of string crossing there, and we want to make sure that we're not hitting multiple strings as we're doing that. When you're ready, then you can try playing it with me. Place my bow in the mezzo forte lane. 1, and ready, go. Again. Up, up. Short, short. 3, and off. And there you have Minuet. Very beautiful piece of music, sounds very nice. Of course, we have to give credit to Bach one more time as the organizer of music. If you have any questions about this piece, please leave a comment below. I'll be happy to answer all of them as soon as I can.